Hey, it's Jingo here again. We're on our way around Australia, dropping in on all sorts of people and been right around the coast and across the north, and now we're heading down the east coast. Along the way we often stop and sit around the campfire and have a yarn, and I got a few little bush poems that I've written over the years. I thought you might like to hear one right now. This little poem's called The Day We Almost Lost Grandpa. You know, the bush can be a dangerous place to spend the whole of life. Almost everything you do can get you into strife. Old Bill next door fell from his horse and never again saw dawn. And in the deep cold waters of the dam, Mrs. Murphy lost her Sean. Mad Jack next door took off into the scrub, crazy with the grog. He was never found alive, but at least they found his dog. But Grandpa, he was different. He smoked but didn't drink. He liked to sit and contemplate, just sit about and think. So when we couldn't find him, there's one place we would look, and we'd find him in the dunny with his pipe and favourite book. Well, one afternoon we called him to get ready for his tea. He didn't come, and we called again. Wherever could he be? Just then, Dad came in all scrubbed up and ready for a feed, and said that Grandpa's in the dunny with one last page to read. Well, Mum, open mouth, stood staring. Her face was drained and white. We looked at her and wondered what gave her such a fright. Well, she took off out the kitchen door and down the garden path, yelling, "Pop, don't light a match, it may well be your last." We all scrambled out the kitchen door just as she reached the gate, but alas, a blinding flash told us that we were just too late. The dunny walls fell outward, the roof had disappeared, and Grandpa with his hat in place skyward had careered. He flew above the chook house and Mum's new garden shed, and he also cleared the wood heap with his hat still on his head. Just then the braces on his trousers caught on the corner post and flung poor Grandpa backwards to where he'd been almost. Well, he sat there stunned and trouserless, with his pipe and hat in place, with the most bewildered look etched upon his face. We got him up and dusted him and took him back inside, and then he tried to recollect the details of his ride. The last thing he remembered was taking matches from his pocket. One little spark was all it took, and he became a human rocket. It was then that Mum admitted she really was to blame, for in the kitchen cupboard were two bottles just the same. The one for cleaning dunnies was labelled Forest Pino Clean. The other ones for harder jobs was labelled gasoline.